Welcome to Project Orion Edge, which is AI RAN, and this is delivered by Code Zero. My name's Andy Ramgobin, and I am the CEO and co-founder. So as always with our videos, we start in my VS Code space, and we're going to move to a Streamlit dashboard app that I have built, and we're going to conceptually show an MVP with some real data, but publicly available data, and an end-to-end RAN platform. So we're going to start with quality of service, quality experience, and then running inference on traffic. And we are limited with the amount of data that we can get from public online data sets from places like GitHub. But you can see quite clearly that we've built something that allows us to make some cool predictions, but they are quite lightweight. Where we get really interesting is when we start looking at forecasting and congestion risks. So this is really important when you think of PRBs in RAN, so that's a physical resource block, and we're able to run some models and actually forecast and give you a congestion risk score. Sprint 4 was all around policy recommendations and what if scenarios. Capacity planning is massive, whether it's an infrastructure or network, and this does something very similar, again with some publicly available data, but still really useful and conceptually fully wired and built. Now, we really wanted to show some of our enterprise cybersecurity skills. So what we've done is we've taken our knowledge of mitreatt&ck and mitreatt, which is specifically around 5G and 6G, and we've mapped some baseline models around anomaly detection based on the data that we've got, and we've mapped those anomalies to potential mitreatt attacks. So I think this is a really cool way of showing how we can then add cybersecurity into this platform. So we've designed Atlas, which is a sovereign agentic LLM platform, but for the purposes of this environment, I've wired an NVIDIA NIM container. Now I don't have access to the correct NIM license, so I've been using a Quen model on a VLLM container, and it shows a agent recommendation and then a deterministic result and action from Orion Edge, not the large language model. And then Sprint 7 is all around SD-RAN with some potential tie-ins to SD-WAN and SASE, Secure Access Service Edge, so that we can really show some of that native or potentially native integration into enterprise security platforms. And then lastly, we're going to move to RAN-aware global path intelligence, which is like trace routing, so like Dublin trace route, Paris trace route, observability of the network, and we're able to wire what we could do with real data and a RIC, which is a RAN intelligence controller. That's Orion Edge.